Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Thank you for clicking on my review. As I'm sure you all know, not very many game titles get sequels that are as good or better than the previous, but Titanfall 2 is one of the very few exceptions. So in today's review, I'm going to give you guys somewhat of a comparison of the original Titanfall to the current, while taking a few jabs at Call of Duty, just to give you a pretty good idea on how Respawn Entertainment improved on it, and why it's one of the best sci-fi FPS games I've ever played. With the original Titanfall, EA decided it would be a good idea to slap a $60 price tag on a mostly multiplayer-based game without a story. A move I thought was incredibly stupid, which I'm sure everyone else did too, but this time around the developers over at Respawn Entertainment gave us exactly what we asked for. After playing through Titanfall 2's single-player campaign 3 times, I realized not only can Respawn cook up a good story, but an outstanding one at that. Now don't get me wrong, it's not the most original of its kind, and it's only 5 hours long, but there's never a dull moment. Personally, the length doesn't matter to me though, because it's so well done. Unlike most single-player experiences that revolve around multiple character stories, Titanfall 2 delivers its own through a personal bond that develops between the pilot Jack Cooper of the Militia Frontier and his Vanguard-class Titan mech BT-7274, as they take on the IMC and their hired mercenaries group, the Apex Predators, who are looking to take control of and exploit resources across many planets in the galaxy. It gives you dialogue options and implements intricate level design based on both characters and their abilities, meaning without one or the other, Jack or BT wouldn't be able to manage on their own, which helps the player develop a connection to both characters and is a smart design choice by Respawn even if it wasn't intentionally done. And in my opinion, it has one of the best stories out there with some of the most eye-opening moments throughout, including shifting in and out of space and time, and even epic Titan-on-Titan combat, which is done mostly through boss battles while on top of space cruisers flying through the air at one point. Now, while running at a constant 60 FPS, Titanfall 2's gameplay is king. Sliding, strafing, wall running, Titan-on-Titan battles, and traveling in and out of space and time to get through certain parts of the game's obstacles is as smooth as glass. I can honestly say I've never played a first-person shooter that felt this good. This game is what so many others have tried to copy, like Infinite Warfare, and unlike Call of Duty, Titanfall 2's player mobility as a pilot is based on its well-designed story levels and multiplayer maps, or vice versa, and it doesn't ever feel like it's just tacked on. Now when it comes to the multiplayer, this is another area where the original Titanfall really dropped the ball. Aside from its core gameplay, everything else left more to be desired. There wasn't much customization and not a very wide selection of weapons and titans. Basically, the progression in multiplayer was stale. Fortunately though, Respawn once again delivered. There are 7 class types this time around, including Phase Shift, which lets you disappear into another dimension when stuck in sticky situations, all the way to the more simple Grapple class, which is self-explanatory, but you use a grappling hook to swing between buildings and platforms in all of its 13 different game modes, like Pilot v Pilot, Last Titan Standing, Free-for-All, Bounty Hunt, Coliseum, and so many more. Cosmetic customization has been expanded for both the player's pilot class, weapons, and their titans as well, with pages and pages of colors, decals, and camo patterns you unlock through progression and completing challenges. Hell, you can even make your titan look like Mike Wazowski from Monsters Inc. if you want. And if all of those don't suit you, there's plenty of paid cosmetic DLC you can choose from, including Prime Titans, which are brand new, nice and shiny designs and chassis for each titan. Even the loadout customization also keeps things fresh, giving you the opportunity to try different weapons and tools like rapid-fire grenade launchers and even flaming ninja stars. There's no limit to the possibilities and combinations that you can pull off. I'm also going to touch on the gameplay a little more because this is where you get the most fun out of it. Like I said, it's as smooth as glass. They did a really good job of giving the player the ability of not feeling 100% helpless, like in Battlefield 1 for example. And what I mean by that is, most matches have 2 phases, which are the pilot phase and the Titan phase, and it almost feels like 2 games in one, with each side constantly gaining and losing the upper hand. When you first drop into a match, all players battle it out, racking up points depending on the game mode and building their Titanfall meter. At that point, players can call down Titans even if it's only one team, leaving all the pilots that don't have Titans to adapt. And once you get the hang of the controls, keeping momentum and speed with wall running, sliding, swinging, and hopping feels exhilarating. You can easily hold your own against one or multiple enemy titans, staying alive for a long time or even destroying them, and when you can pull that off, you literally feel like a god among men. It is the most intense and satisfying multiplayer experience in a video game I can think of. Nothing else comes close. Lastly, one of the most important reasons why I think everyone out there should buy this game is for the fact that all future cosmetic DLC like maps, weapons, and game modes are free, and there's no season pass like the first one had. that split the player base. I mean, these days that is unheard of, and they're obviously listening to our complaints and fixing them. If EA hadn't made the huge mistake of releasing this game between Battlefield 1 and Call of Duty Infinite Warfare, I probably wouldn't be doing this review. Okay, so now give me a second to wipe the drool away from my mouth and off the mic so we can talk cons. Now, if you're willing to put in some serious game time, this won't be a problem. But going back to the challenges that you can complete and the unlocks through progression, I noticed that they were unnecessarily long and drawn out. For example, some challenges require you travel 500 kilometers with certain Titans, and with the maps being so small, that can take forever. You also have the ability to unlock pages and pages of player tags, which all have different versions that are just recycled over and over, such as prism versions or gold versions. These things are really minor, but it seems a little cheap and lazy. Other than that, there's really nothing else I have to say about this game in the negative, but if Respawn can improve on these with the Titanfall 3, it's over, because I don't think any other first-person shooter will come close to this level. So let's do a short little recap. Epic single-player campaign, excellent character development, satisfying gameplay and mechanics, intricate level and map design built around player mobility, fast-paced, exciting and intense multiplayer with tons of customization and loadout combinations. All future non-cosmetic DLC is free, no season pass, splitting the player base, and frickin' Titan mechs. Some of the multiplayer challenges are ridiculously time-consuming, and some of the customization is just recycled, feeling cheap and lazy. So that does it for today's Titanfall 2 review. I really hope this helped you out, and if it did, please subscribe and hit that like button to support what I'm doing here, and to also see my thoughts on the upcoming games you might want to play. Also, check out my other reviews if you haven't already, and be sure to follow me on any of the social sites in the description below. If you have any comments on what you think about Titanfall 2, or just anything else in general, just drop them in the comments section and I'll comment back. As always, thanks again for watching, have yourselves a fantastic day, and I'll see you in my next review.